Stop waiting for validation and take control of your life. Too many people waste years seeking approval from others, waiting for someone to recognize their worth, or hoping that the world will suddenly hand them the life they want. But the truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to give you permission to chase your dreams. If you keep waiting for external validation, you'll be stuck in the same place, watching others move forward while you remain trapped in self-doubt and hesitation. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for someone to tell them they were good enough. They decided for themselves. They took action even when no one believed in them, even when people laughed at their ambitions, and even when they had no support. They understood that self-confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you create through action. Confidence is built through taking risks, stepping outside of your comfort zone, and proving to yourself that you are capable. If you want to change your life, you have to stop caring about what others think and start caring about what you want. One of the biggest traps in life is the need for validation. People hold themselves back because they fear judgment, criticism, or rejection. They hesitate to start a new business, switch careers, or pursue their passions because they are afraid of what their friends, family, or society will say. But the reality is, most people are too focused on their own lives to be concerned with yours. The opinions you are so worried about won't matter a year from now, let alone 5 or 10 years from now. If you let fear of judgment control you, you'll live a life of regret, always wondering what could have been if you had just taken the leap. Taking control of your life means making decisions for yourself based on what you truly want, not what others expect from you. It means setting goals that excite you, making choices that align with your vision, and refusing to let the fear of criticism hold you back. It's about realizing that you are the only person responsible for your success and happiness. No one else can do it for you. You have to take ownership of your path and commit to doing the work, even when no one is clapping for you, even when no one notices your efforts, and even when progress feels slow. Your life will change the moment you decide that you don't need anyone's approval to go after what you want. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need validation to start. All you need is the decision to believe in yourself and the discipline to take action every single day. The sooner you stop seeking validation, the sooner you will gain true freedom. The freedom to live life on your own terms, create your own success, and become the person you were meant to be. No one is going to hand you the life you want. It's up to you to take control, step up, and make it happen. Pain is your greatest teacher, and if you learn to use it, it will become your greatest source of strength. Most people try to avoid pain, run from it, or numb it because they believe that pain is a sign that something is wrong. But the truth is, pain is a message. It is life's way of telling you that something needs to change. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is how they respond to pain. Some people allow it to break them, while others use it to fuel their growth and transformation. Every setback, every rejection, every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. Pain pushes you out of your comfort zone. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, face your fears, and find solutions to problems you never thought you could handle. If you look back at your life, you'll realize that the moments that challenged you the most were the moments that shaped you into who you are today. Growth doesn't happen when everything is easy. It happens when things get hard, when you are pushed to your limits, and when you are forced to find the strength within yourself to keep going. The most powerful people in the world are not the ones who had an easy path. They are the ones who face struggle after struggle and refuse to give up. They didn't see pain as a reason to quit. They saw it as a reason to push harder. They understood that pain is temporary, but the lessons it teaches last a lifetime. Every successful person has faced failure. Every strong person has been through hardship. But instead of letting their pain define them, they used it to refine them. One of the biggest mistakes people make is letting pain turn into self-pity. They dwell on their struggles, complain about their circumstances, and look for excuses instead of solutions. But pain is not meant to make you feel sorry for yourself. It is meant to wake you up. It is meant to remind you of your inner strength and show you what you are truly capable of. If you can shift your perspective and see pain as an opportunity rather than a punishment, you will unlock a level of power that most people never tap into. Pain can either be the weight that holds you down or the fire that fuels your success. The choice is yours. You can let your hardships break you, or you can let them build you. You can let rejection stop you, or you can let it push you to become better. Every time life knocks you down, you have two choices: stay down or rise stronger. Those who succeed are not the ones who avoid pain, but the ones who embrace it, learn from it, and use it to become unstoppable. Life is not about avoiding challenges, it is about growing through them. Pain is proof that you are pushing yourself, that you are evolving, and that you are on the path to something greater. If you can learn to see pain as a gift, you will never fear failure again. You will welcome every challenge knowing that it is shaping you into the strongest version of yourself. Eliminating distractions and focusing on what truly matters is one of the most important habits for success. In today's world, distractions are everywhere: social media, endless notifications, mindless entertainment, and negative people all compete for attention. The problem is that most people don't realize how much time they waste on things that do not contribute to their goals. They start their day with good intentions, but before they know it, hours have passed scrolling through a phone, engaging in meaningless conversations, or worrying about things that have no real impact on their future. The difference between those who achieve great things and those who stay stuck is their ability to focus. Success does not come from doing 100 things at once. It comes from doing a few things with absolute focus and consistency. The ability to concentrate on a single task without distractions is a superpower in today's fast-paced world. The mind is like a muscle. The more it is trained to focus, the stronger it becomes. But just like any muscle, it can also weaken if it is constantly overstimulated by distractions. Every time attention is diverted to something unimportant, productivity suffers. When the mind is scattered, progress slows down. But when distractions are eliminated and focus is sharpened, results come faster than ever imagined. One of the biggest distractions is worrying about what others are doing. Too many people waste energy comparing themselves to others instead of working on their own growth. They get caught up in gossip, drama, or trying to prove something to people who don't even matter. But the truth is, none of that will help in reaching personal goals. The only competition that matters is the one with yourself. The goal should always be to improve, to learn, and to take consistent action towards success. Time spent focusing on others is time taken away from building something great for yourself. Another major distraction is negative people. Being around those who complain, make excuses, or lack ambition can slowly drain motivation. The energy of the people in your environment affects mindset and productivity. If constantly surrounded by negativity, it becomes difficult to stay focused and driven. That's why it's important to be intentional about who is allowed into personal space. Surrounding yourself with people who are ambitious, positive, and goal-oriented will automatically push you to stay focused and take action. The best way to eliminate distractions is to have a clear vision and a strong reason why. When the purpose is clear, distractions become easier to ignore. It is not about having more time, it is about using time effectively. Every successful person operates with intense focus and discipline, knowing that every second wasted is a second taken away from achieving greatness. Distractions will always be there, but it is a personal choice whether to let them control life or to take control and focus on what truly matters. Those who master their focus master their future. If something does not contribute to growth, success, or well-being, it does not deserve attention. The key is simple: eliminate the noise, set clear goals, and take consistent action every day. Raising your standards is the foundation for transforming every aspect of your life. The level at which you live is not determined by luck, intelligence, or external circumstances. It is dictated by what you are willing to accept. Too many people settle for mediocrity because they have conditioned themselves to believe that their current reality is the best they can achieve. But the truth is, life rises to the level of your standards. If you demand more from yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially, you will find ways to make it happen. If you settle for less, you will always find excuses to stay where you are. People who achieve extraordinary success are not necessarily more talented or gifted. They simply refuse to tolerate anything less than excellence from themselves. They hold themselves to a higher standard in their work, their health, their relationships, and their mindset. They don't accept laziness, negativity, or excuses. They don't wait for motivation. They create discipline. They operate with a mindset that says, this is who I am, and this is how I do things. When you raise your standards, you stop negotiating with yourself. You no longer allow yourself to skip workouts, waste time on distractions, or make excuses for why things aren't working out. You set a new minimum for what is acceptable in your life, and then you commit to living by it. One of the biggest differences between those who succeed and those who don't is what they believe they deserve. People who have low standards convince themselves that success is only for others, that they are not capable, or that they don't have the resources to achieve their goals. But those who set high standards believe that they are worthy of success, that they can figure things out, and that they will do whatever it takes to get there. When you demand more from yourself, your actions start to reflect that belief. You push harder, you work smarter, and you refuse to settle for anything less than what you know you are capable of. Raising your standards also means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to be better. The company you keep influences the standards you set for yourself. If you are around people who accept mediocrity, it becomes easy to do the same. But if you surround yourself with individuals who are driven, focused, and constantly improving, their energy and mindset will push you to elevate your own game. You start thinking bigger, acting bolder, and demanding more from yourself simply because of the environment you are in. The key to lasting success is making high standards a part of your identity. It's not just about setting goals. It's about shifting your mindset to see yourself as someone who always operates at a higher level. It means holding yourself accountable and refusing to lower your expectations just because things get difficult. The moment you decide that your old standards are no longer acceptable, everything changes. You stop waiting for things to get better and start making them better. Your habits improve, your decisions become stronger, and your results start to reflect the new level you have set for yourself. When you raise your standards, your life will follow. Discipline is the foundation of success. While motivation may come and go, discipline is what keeps you moving forward even when you don't feel like it. Most people rely on motivation to take action, but motivation is temporary. It is an emotion that fluctuates depending on circumstances, energy levels, and mood. Discipline, on the other hand, is the ability to do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. It is the habit of showing up every single day, whether you are excited or exhausted, whether things are going well or falling apart. Success is not about big moments of inspiration. It is about consistent effort over time. The people who achieve their goals are not the ones who feel motivated every day, but the ones who push through when they don't. They wake up early, put in the work, and stay committed to their routines even when no one is watching. They understand that discipline is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. They don't allow their emotions to dictate their actions. They operate based on their commitments, not their feelings. The most powerful thing about discipline is that it builds momentum. The first few days of starting a new habit or working towards a goal are the hardest because there is no immediate reward. It is easy to quit when results are not visible yet, but those who stay disciplined long enough start to see progress. Small improvements compound over time, leading to massive transformation. Discipline creates habits, and habits create results. When an action is repeated consistently, it no longer requires effort. It becomes second nature. People often ask how to stay disciplined, and the answer is simple. Remove the option of quitting. When success is seen as the only choice, discipline becomes a way of life. There are no excuses, no negotiations, and no waiting for the right time. The right time is always now. Every time discipline is exercised, it becomes stronger. Every time an excuse is entertained, it becomes weaker. The mind and body adapt to what they are trained to do. When discipline is prioritized, laziness and procrastination lose their power. One of the most important aspects of discipline is consistency. Doing something once or twice is easy, but doing it every day requires a commitment that most people are unwilling to make. Consistency is what builds trust in oneself. When a promise is made to take action and it is followed through, self-respect grows. Confidence is built not by external validation, but by keeping commitments to oneself. When discipline is mastered, there is no need to wait for motivation because the habit of taking action is already ingrained. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, luck, or resources. It is discipline. It is the ability to keep going when others stop. It is the ability to push through discomfort and sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term success. While most people search for motivation, those who are truly committed focus on discipline. They understand that the road to success is built on showing up every day, doing the work, and refusing to quit. Discipline is not a choice. It is a necessity for those who want to achieve greatness. Negative people can silently drain energy, kill ambition, and limit potential without even realizing it. The company you keep shapes your mindset, influences your decisions and determines how far you go in life. If you are constantly surrounded by people who complain, make excuses, and lack vision, it becomes difficult to maintain focus and motivation. Negativity is contagious, and over time it seeps into your thoughts, making even the strongest ambitions feel impossible. That is why cutting out negativity and surrounding yourself with growth-minded individuals is essential for success. One of the biggest challenges in eliminating negativity is recognizing it. Sometimes it comes from friends, family, or colleagues who have good intentions but unknowingly discourage progress. They project their own fears, doubts, and limitations onto others, making success seem out of reach. They say things like, "Be realistic. That's too risky," or "It's not possible." These words may seem harmless, but over time they plant seeds of doubt. The mind absorbs what it is repeatedly exposed to, and if it constantly hears negativity, it starts believing in limitations. The fastest way to change your life is to change your environment. Surrounding yourself with people who think big, take action, and push their limits will naturally elevate your mindset. When success is the standard in your environment, mediocrity becomes uncomfortable. When the conversations around you are about growth, opportunities, and solutions, your thinking shifts in the same direction. It is not about completely cutting people off, but about being intentional with energy and time. There is a difference between supporting people and allowing them to hold you back. If someone is constantly draining energy, adding negativity, or discouraging growth, limiting their influence is necessary. Another form of negativity comes from self-doubt and limiting beliefs. Even after removing negative influences, if old thought patterns remain the same, progress will be limited. The way to overcome this is by actively feeding the mind with positivity, learning from successful individuals, and continuously upgrading knowledge. Reading books, listening to inspiring podcasts, and engaging with mentors or successful people will gradually rewire thinking. The more exposure to positivity, the less power negativity holds. Energy management is crucial for maintaining focus and drive. Spending time with the wrong people, engaging in unnecessary drama, or consuming negative content drains mental and emotional energy. When focus is split between growth and distractions, progress slows down. The best way to stay on track is to be selective with attention and energy. Choose conversations that inspire, environments that challenge, and people who uplift. Protecting mental space is as important as protecting physical health. Success is not just about working harder, it is about working smarter. Being in the right environment speeds up progress while negativity slows it down. The people around you either add value or take it away. To reach the next level, negativity must be replaced with ambition, doubt with belief, and excuses with action. Surrounding yourself with growth-minded people creates an unstoppable force, making success the only outcome. Comparing yourself to others is one of the fastest ways to kill confidence, motivation, and personal growth. In a world where social media constantly showcases highlight reels of other people's lives, it's easy to feel like you're behind, not doing enough, or not good enough. But the truth is, comparison is a distraction. It shifts focus away from personal progress and onto external factors that have nothing to do with individual success. The only person worth competing with is the person you were yesterday. When energy is spent on comparing instead of improving, valuable time is wasted that could be used to build something great. Every person's journey is different. Some people achieve success early while others take longer. Some start with advantages while others must work harder to create opportunities. Looking at someone else's progress and feeling discouraged is unfair because the circumstances, experiences, and challenges behind their success are often unseen. What looks like an overnight success is usually years of hard work, discipline, and sacrifices. No one posts their struggles, failures, or late nights filled with doubt. The moment comparison takes over, it becomes difficult to appreciate personal achievements, no matter how big or small. The real competition should always be internal. Every day is an opportunity to be stronger, smarter, and more disciplined than the day before. When the focus is on self-improvement rather than external validation, real growth begins. The goal should not be to match someone else's timeline, but to create a life that aligns with personal vision and values. Progress is not about being better than others, it's about becoming the best version of oneself. Small daily improvements, even if they seem insignificant, compound over time and lead to massive results. Comparison often leads to negative emotions like jealousy, self-doubt, and frustration. It shifts attention to what is lacking instead of what is possible. This mindset creates unnecessary pressure and stress, making it difficult to stay motivated. Instead of comparing, The better approach is to learn from those who have achieved success. Instead of feeling discouraged by someone else's progress, use it as inspiration. Ask questions like, what can I learn from their journey? Or how can I apply similar principles in my own life? Growth happens when energy is directed towards solutions instead of self-criticism. Another important lesson is understanding that success is not a race. There is no fixed timeline for achieving goals, and everyone moves at their own pace. What matters is consistency and staying committed to the journey. Focusing on long-term progress rather than quick comparisons leads to deeper fulfillment and sustainable success. It is essential to remind yourself that no one else is living your life, making your decisions, or facing your challenges. The path to success is personal, and comparing it to someone else's only creates unnecessary limitations. The most successful individuals understand that their greatest competitor is themselves. They measure progress based on where they started, not where others are. The key to long-term success and happiness is staying focused, setting personal goals, and improving daily. Growth comes from effort, discipline, and persistence, not from measuring against someone else's success. The only real challenge is becoming better than the person you were yesterday. Results speak louder than words. In a world where people constantly talk about their dreams, plans, and ambitions, very few actually put in the work to turn those words into reality. Talking about success is easy, but proving it through action and results is what truly matters. People respect results, not excuses. No one cares about how hard the struggle is, how many obstacles exist, or how difficult the journey has been. What matters in the end is whether the work was done and the goal was achieved. Success is built through consistent effort, not through endless talking or seeking validation. Many people get caught up in making big promises, setting grand goals, and announcing their plans to the world, but then fail to follow through. They mistake talking about success for actually working towards it. The problem with this approach is that it creates a false sense of accomplishment. When effort is put into discussing goals rather than executing them, it feels like progress is being made when in reality nothing has changed. Instead of telling the world about plans, the focus should be on quietly working towards them. When real results start to show, there will be no need to explain anything. Success will speak for itself. Discipline and execution separate those who achieve their goals from those who simply dream about them. The most successful individuals operate with a mindset that prioritizes action over words. They don't waste time proving themselves to others or explaining their process. They let their results do the talking. Instead of arguing, defending, or trying to convince people of their potential, they focus on building, growing, and improving. They understand that talk is cheap and that in the end, results are the only thing that truly matter. The most powerful proof of effort is undeniable success. When something is accomplished at a high level, recognition becomes automatic. People take notice of those who deliver results, not those who just make claims. The key to standing out is to be so good at what you do that there is no need for explanations. Those who are truly successful don't need to announce their